Hey everyone at Coastline. My name is Aaron Zettner. I'm the Dean of Institutional Effectiveness, and I'm here with our fantastic student leadership from ASG. Today, we're here to put a little add-on to the planning summit to really hear from them regarding the cool things ASG has done this last year and the future plans for our associated student government. But before we get into that, I would like to have them introduce themselves. So go ahead, Beth, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Beth Koenig. I was serving as the ASG president this past academic year, and I am an emergency management major. I'm technically in my second year at Coastline, but my third year of college. After next fall, I'll be transferring to a four-year school to complete my BA. And of course, with ASG, I was the president. And so we got to do a lot of really cool things. And I really enjoyed my time serving as the president.
Thank you so much, Beth, and for your leadership as president. And so we'll go on to Jim.
Hi everyone, my name is Jim Ho and I'm the ASG secretary here at Coastline. From within this past academic year, I'm a returning student after graduating from Cal State Long Beach and in preparation for graduate school, hopefully in the pre-health sector. So this past year has been a wonderful, great year of just learning the different roles that we each play, and our main mantra is for the betterment for our college. And so it's been a privilege of being with you all this year.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jim, and good luck in the grad school. You do fine. And Spencer.
I am Spencer. I have been the Garden Grove campus senator for this past academic year. And as we'll talk about later on today, I'm going to be the vice president for the next academic year. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking about a lot of what we've done this year. Let's see more about me. I have been taking, this is my second semester here at Coastline, and I've been taking classes to help prep myself and take some prereqs for teaching credential programs. And so hopefully once I'm able to finish all those programs, fingers crossed, be able to transfer into a program at a state university. That's the goal. So that's where I'm going.
You know, that's excellent to hear. It sounds like everybody's going down the right track and really moving forward in their educational journeys. So good luck to everyone. But before we get into our interview and really talking about the cool things that have been done at ASG, I'd like to hear a little bit about what ASG is and, to share with our future students and also our colleagues at Coastline. So Beth, could you please tell us a little bit about what ASG is and what it does?
Yeah, so ASG is the Associated Student Government at Coastline College. And we basically serve as the voice of the students. So we attend meetings throughout the college. We have our own meetings. We also host events. So we, for instance, had a drive-in movie night. And so we also support various activities. For example, the clubs that are at Coastline, we approve and assign their initial startup cost, startup budget. And so just doing various activities throughout the college. And what's really nice about Coastline is that as an ASG officer, my voice really mattered to those at the college. And I really felt that throughout my time with others in meetings. Oftentimes I would be asked, hey, what's the student's perspective on this? And I was able to answer. And so that's really nice. And I just really enjoy, the sense of participation and being able to make a difference and do things.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. And as we roll into what happened over this last spring, what would you, and I'll go and I'll round robin and ask all of you to just kind of look through this list and cherry pick certain things that really stood out to you. So we'll go with Spencer. From this list of spring 2021, as I know Beth had alluded to, movie night, and hopefully we can talk a little bit more about that. What are some of the events that you would like to maybe reflect on that you found really meaningful this last term?
I think to just pick two direct ones out, so that my colleagues here can pick their lot from the list as well. One of the ones that I had been working on since last semester was the drive-in movie night event that we had hosted. As far as I know, this was one of the first times this had been done at Coastline, and so we had a lot of hoops to jump through, a lot of paperwork to deal with, and send it to these people, and then get stuff back and rinse and repeat a little bit. But we wanted some sort of event where Coastline students could come together in a safe kind of manner, because we're still at the tail end of the pandemic. Everything's still looking up. And so people were in their cars, plenty of space between the cars. We popped up a movie at the Newport Beach campus parking lot. We were able to play Jurassic Park, provide people with some snacks. It was a great experience. A lot of people showed up. So as far as I could tell, it went pretty successfully, and it's definitely something we are looking forward to doing more of in the future. And so that's one of the things I really liked that we were able to accomplish this year. And then the second one is the preferred names resolution that we did in response to some changes that have been happening throughout the district, really, but especially with our college. Some of our sister colleges, Golden West OCC, had passed similar things, and our student trustee for the district had made us aware of that kind of situation. And so we jumped on the opportunity to stand with our brothers and sisters and non-binary friends and loved ones to kind of put our lot in with everything going on, show support for students' chosen names and their rights to choose what they want to be called. And so I think those two events really signify what we're trying to do here at ASG: provide wholesome community events to bring the students together, and then also show our solidarity with each of the students and show that we all care about each other and we all want to help each other. So those are the two events I really liked.
Excellent, excellent. And those are very impactful, and definitely with the chosen name, I think that's been a really big impact. And even just on the side of research to make sure that we're utilizing that in an effective manner, and that's reflected in our classroom. So thank you again for the support. And also the movie night, it was Jurassic Park. I was there before the setup, and I was like, why wasn't I invited? And then of course the dean of the center laughed, and he's like, this is a student event, Aaron, your car will take up too much space. And I said, that's probably true. So I'm glad that went really well. And so we'll go over to Jim and say, Jim, what do you think out of these two events that really stood out to you?
The two events that stood out for me would be one, the donations to Coastline Foundation for direct student aid, and two, concerning about the MBTI and strong inventory funding. So first and foremost, we, unfortunate as this past year and a half has been, we are in a very stressful time. And so a lot of our student population are going through a very difficult time. And so what we've initialized is to provide aid for our student body in whatever monetary form that they may need, either to be used for school supplies or for food or whatever. Anything that the student population needs, we would do everything to care for their needs. And second would be the MBTI and strong inventory funding in terms of for returning students or for new students who are just coming back to college. They just want to know, okay, I'm in college now, where do I go from here on? So these two types of inventory is often used to help be like the jumping off point to assess the person's personality and their goals in life, and so that way they can meet with the counselors, and the counselors could guide them to the right path that will fit their needs. Yeah.
That's awesome. And just to reflect on those, like I said, it's things that really make a difference in students' life. When looking with the foundation to really get those direct aids to our students, that really made a huge impact. Just hearing back from the students, the surveys, the needs being met. And I know I know we had a lot more need than we may have had been able to serve, but we did make a very broad impact and continue to do that with a lot of our basic needs opportunities we're providing for our students. And then also the MBTI assessment. I think to myself, like, God, I wish I would have had that like my first term in college. That would have been great until I got into my psych classes and the like. But no, that's fantastic to hear. And I really appreciate your support of the students. And to close out some of the highlights, Beth, what are some of the things that stood out to you?
Well, first, the Flex Day presentation. It was really amazing to be able to put together a presentation with my fellow ASG members and then present that to the faculty and staff at Flex Day. It was really interesting because a lot of my professors, my past professors, were actually in the audience. So that was kind of really neat, seeing them again and me being the one that's actually speaking. It was just a really cool experience. The other one that stands out to me is the Westminster Lee Jiao parking advocacy that we did. There was a developer that wanted to come in and develop in the area where students park. So we would lose a bunch of parking that was really important for the Westminster campus. And none of the like proposed solutions were really, you know, they were all going to cost a lot of money that, you know, it really wasn't practical that we could do, right? And so being concerned about, you know, after COVID and once we get back to in person, that campus really does need parking for students so that they can get to campus. And it was a super important issue. It's not quite over yet, but the first round we got it. And so yeah, basically developers back to square one now because the city council turned them down. But it was just so cool working with, again, my fellow ASG members to, you know, at one point there was a letter that the school wanted translated, and we were actually able to translate into 2 different languages to go out to the students. And we did that, you know, as ASG, like we pulled our resources and found people who knew those languages and could help us translate those letters and get them out to the student body. We did Vietnamese and Spanish. That was pretty cool. And also getting to speak at the Westminster City Council meetings. So yes, when we went to the Westminster City Council meetings, it was really cool because we were able to actually speak and advocate on behalf of the parking situation. So for the first one, myself and our former PR person, Tessa, went to that one and got to speak. And then on the second time we went to the city council meeting, Fong and Arvia got to speak. And so that was just really a lot of good things to have all that support the ASG was able to provide, as well as have the support of the rest of the college as well. And so, yeah, really cool thing to have a great outcome right now. I mean, we're not completely out of the woods. We still do need to work towards a permanent parking solution, but we won quite a bit there. So it's really cool.
Those things are really cool. And really thinking about the Westminster campus is how it's grown and changed, and how we have, you know, adult education, looking at esports over there, and just really engaging a variety of diverse population of students, how important to securing the parking spaces for our students were. So thank you so much for everybody, for all of you collaborating together and really sharing the voice of the students to help advocate for the college. That's amazing. And then also with Flex Day, it is fun to get up and talk in front of your faculty, and it almost feels like you're the instructor on the stage a little bit and really sharing your insights and the like. So thank you so much for sharing those. And so now as we look forward to the future, I want to, and maybe ask Spencer, you mentioned it earlier, you said you're coming as the VP. So maybe you want to mention what the new installation looks like for ASG. And then I'll also have Jim and Beth close out with future projects. So go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, so starting, I guess, officially today is when the technical switchover has happened. Carnetta Sheffield, our outgoing vice president and incoming president, she's going to be taking the reins from Beth, and so it's been a fun transition. As when Carnetta was able to step up as vice president when our previous vice president Roy became the student trustee. So she's had to swap positions, and so now she's gonna take in the president's slot. So looking forward to working directly with her. Then I'm gonna be the vice president. So I'm really looking forward to just doing all of that, having a little bit more responsibility with ASG. Looking forward to it all. And then Arvia Glass, our current equity senator, she is returning as our equity senator. She's been working really hard, very diligently with DEI and student services and various people with ensuring there's equity amongst the students and amongst the faculty and just within the school. She's been going really hard on that, so I appreciate her hard work. And then the newest member, Monique Williams, she's going to be brand new to ASG starting next year. She's going to be our military senator, and I've only met her at the installation event we had last week. So far, she seems like a wonderful person. I'm looking forward to getting to know her better and working with her in the future.
I'm very excited with what a great foundation that this ASG has provided, and now moving forward with the new committee and the students to help lead things forward. I'm very excited to hear and see all the new things that we're doing, which leads into our next conversation of future projects. So Jim and then Beth, if you want to touch on maybe when you choose the summer movie and then the civic engagement work group.
Yes, of course. So for our future projects and events, the first and foremost, this coming summer, we are planning to have another movie summer night. As successful as the last one was this past March, we want to have another similar event of just having us to get back together, just to have a more community-based event to bring us joy together. And so we're in the process of selecting the movie, selecting the installation, all the setup in the process as of right now.
Awesome to hear about the movie night. I'm excited to see what's going to be playing. I'll make sure to bring a smaller car so that I can go as well. And really, let's talk about the civic engagement work group. Spencer, could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been working with Renee, our current advisor, for a little bit now on creating some sort of, right now we're calling it a civic engagement work group, to try to increase the general engagement among students, faculty, and really the entire college, increase the civic engagement of everybody involved. I say work group is what we're calling it now because we're still trying to find out what exactly we want to define it as, because certain names will have certain limitations, certain responsibilities, certain dictates. So we're working with that, trying to see how we're going to construct it going forward. So it's still very much in preliminary stages, but we want to increase a few things amongst all of the college stakeholders, so staff, faculty, and students. Some basic, simple ones, getting everybody registered to vote, getting them aware of local politics going on, kind of basic stuff that one would expect in this sort of type of work group. But then we also want to increase like volunteerism, and we want to get students connected with local organizations, help them become aware of where they can volunteer, if they'd like to volunteer. Everybody knows everybody's heard of a food bank, but where's the local food bank? What does volunteering there look like? When can I go volunteer? Who do I talk to? Things like that. We're trying to set up a system that we can lower the bar of entry way down so that people can simply click on our website. They'll find a bunch of links. They can click on a link and they'll be directed right to a page with all the information they need on certain things, trying to make it as simple as possible. But again, it's very much in the preliminary stages. And so hopefully going forward, hopefully by the end of the fall semester, fingers crossed, things will get up and running. But we still have a lot more to decide on and solidify before it gets started. Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now with that.
That's awesome. And that's really cool. Just the things that we've done so far this last year and the plans we have in the future. I can't thank you all enough, Beth, Jim, Spencer, also Carnetta and Arvia. They've done an amazing job. I've sat in many committee meetings and just across a lot of different college-wide activities with them. And I appreciate all the work and feedback they've also provided. And so thank you again for meeting with me today. It's been really fun to chat and just hear about the cool things you've done and just kind of the insight on the future. So thank you so much.